So the question many people have been asking me is, am I really cut out to be a programmer? Can I really be a programmer? And why this question is important is many people rush into programming just to find out that it's too difficult for them and they eventually leave programming. In a different video, I will explain to you why programming is easy in some way and also difficult in some other way. But let's see 4 questions you need to ask yourself. If the answer to these 4 questions are yes, then you are cut out to be a programmer. If the answer to any of these questions is no, then you can be a programmer. So these are 4 questions to know if you can be a programmer or not. Question number 1. Are you somebody very social? Are you somebody very social? If the answer to this question is yes, then most likely that is a red flag for you. That does not mean that programmers are antisocial. Programmers are also social, but if you are very social, okay, you love being around friends, you love making fun every time, then most likely your personality is not cut out to be that of a programmer. Another point is, could you stay from night till morning for several days working on the same thing? What it means is, can you stay from night till morning without sleeping, working on something on the computer for a number of days? If you can't do this, then that is also another red flag. If you are going to be a programmer, then there is a quality of being thorough or meticulous. If you are not meticulous in doing things, then most likely you are not cut out to be a programmer. The next point I have on my list is, are you somebody lazy? This is a little dicey because programmers are lazy. Don't get me wrong. The point is, if you are somebody that likes working, doing the same thing over and over again, trying to do things every time, most likely you can be a programmer, because programmers in some way are lazy. In terms of they don't like doing things, routine tasks every time. If you have a programmer that you assign him a task to enter data every day, he's entering data in a Excel sheet, preparing reports every time, most likely he is not a programmer, or if a programmer is assigned such tasks, he will find it more challenging than some other difficult tasks. Programmers don't like routine tasks. If you assign them routine tasks, they'll find a shortcut to doing it. This happened in my own case where I was working as a programmer, and at some point there is this colleague of mine that prepares monthly reports. So it takes him about 2 weeks to prepare these reports every month. So at some point this colleague of mine, he left. He left the department, and I was assigned to do this task. Do you know that this 2 weeks long task, that I do it in just 30 minutes or less? Because it's a routine task. You have to build up a spreadsheet and calculate certain columns and generate reports every month. So being a routine task, I have to find out a shortcut. I have to write a script that will pull out the data and generate this result for me every time. So programmers are lazy. Get it very clear. Programmers are lazy. If you are not lazy and you don't want to find shortcuts or easy ways of doing things, not things generally, but things related to the computer, things related to working with data, then most likely you can be a programmer. I have another point in my list that says, can you stay for several days all alone on your own with no one? See, if you are not able to stay on your own several days with no one, just you alone and your computer or something else, just you by yourself, then you can be a programmer. A programmer should be able to spend several days alone, either thinking, either working out something, either trying to solve certain problems. because programmers are problem solvers. So these are the 4 questions. 1, could you spend from night till morning on the computer for several days? 2, are you somebody a little antisocial? 3, are you somebody very a little lazy, because programmers should be lazy? And 4, could you spend several days alone, all by yourself, with no friends, just you in a room or in a house, just by yourself? So these are the 4 points. If you evaluate these 4 points and you find out that your personality fits into these 4 points, then you can be a programmer. But after evaluation, you find out you can't be a programmer, then don't waste your time, because eventually that will be wasted time. You can't really be a programmer. For me, I'm Kyneton the Genius. Somehow, if you really want to be a programmer, there are also ways around it, and that will be in my next video. Well, if you like what I've been saying, if it makes some sense to you, you can give me a thumbs up, click on the like button, or even if you don't like what I'm saying, hate the video, just click on dislike. It's okay by me. You can also subscribe so that you can get hints on how to build up your knowledge in programming, or how to be a good programmer, or even a bad one.